Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here, your source for gaming, tech, emulation, and open source news. Let's get started. Alright, to kick things off, we're talking about Nintendo Switch emulation on Android with Kenji NX, or Ryujinx. So here's an announcement over on Reddit. Ryujinx returns to Android with Kenji NX. So they say here, after Ryujinx was shut down and the original Android project faded into limbo, many thought it was over. But now it's back and stronger than ever. Thanks to the power of Kenji NX, a blazing fast fork of Ryujinx revived the Android dream. Introducing the first APK built from Kenji, it's getting ready to evolve, and this is just the beginning. So we talked about a new Switch emulator the other day, which is Eden, which is based on Yuzu. Now we've got Kenji NX based on Ryujinx. Now taking a look over on GitHub, and the latest version is version 2.0.3, which matches up with the mainline version of Kenji NX, which is also version 2.0.3, and it was released 2 weeks ago. And they say here in the description, this fork is not a Ryujinx revival project. It aims to be a middle ground between Green Dev's Ryujinx fork and the more preservative Ryujinx Mirror fork. It brings over many of the front-facing features from the aforementioned forks, with additional contributions from Keaton the Bot and others. Now, I wouldn't necessarily say Kenji NX is a new Ryujinx fork. The Android version is new, absolutely yes, but Kenji NX has been around since I think around October of 2024. Next up, we're switching from Nintendo to Sony and talking about the PlayStation 5, and Sony has just revealed some financials, and it turns out that the PlayStation 5 is selling extremely well. So if both consoles, the PS4 and the PS5, released at the exact same time, the PS5 5 years in is just 1.2 million units behind the PS4 for overall sales. Video Games Chronicle has a very detailed article about the entire thing, and if you're interested in it and wanted to learn more about it, like everything we talk about, links are in the description below right at the bottom. I don't hide my sources. Now taking a look, the PS5 has sold about 77.8 million units. Lifetime sales for the PS4 is about 117 million units, unless Sony decides to magically increase the number. So anyways, here, I don't know if the PS5 is going to make the PS4 lifetime sales. We'll have to wait and see on that one. But the PS5 might slow down overall because of tariffs and the current global economy. We'll have to wait and see on that one too. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm curious to see how much of a console seller Grand Theft Auto 6 is. I'm assuming it's going to be a big console seller, but we're going to have to wait and see on that one too. Honestly, here, Grand Theft Auto 6 being delayed probably hurts Sony a little bit. I'm speculating here, but I mean, it makes sense. I'm curious to see if Grand Theft Auto 6 gets delayed again. There's some rumors already sprouting up about that one, but that's a whole nother can of worms. Let me know if you think Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to cause an increase in PS5 sales. Next up here, we're talking about the next Super Mario movie, and this is a bit of a whoopsie from NBC. So it turns out that NBC may have leaked the title of the next Super Mario movie called Super Mario World. And this was spotted in their article where the Super Mario World reference has since been deleted. So if you're excited about that, well, there you go. And it seems it will be exclusively streaming on Peacock after the theatrical release. I don't know why NBC had such a goof up here, but, well, they did. And speaking about accidentally releasing information early, next up here, we're talking about Helldivers 2. And the official PlayStation account over in the Czech Republic accidentally dropped the title for the next Helldivers 2 update. And it's called Heart of Democracy, launching May 20th. So if you are a Helldivers fan, you've probably got quite a bit to look forward to in the very near future for this game. And speaking about looking forward to stuff, next up we're kind of talking about the exact opposite of that, especially if you're at Microsoft, unless you're looking for a package or something like that. So it's being reported that Microsoft is laying off 3% of the company's workplace. We don't know if that impacts the gaming division at all or not, but they're saying here we continue to implement organizational changes necessary to best position the company for success in a dynamic marketplace. And speaking about job losses, next up we're talking about the exact opposite of that with job opportunities. And ZeniMax appears to be hiring quite a few people here, and that may pertain to some trademarks that were just renewed. So someone spotted over on Twitter that ZeniMax Media filed new trademarks. I think I said trademarks before. Trademarks on May 6th for Wolfenstein, Deathloop, Quake, and Dishonored. So if you're a fan of these games, well, the hirings may pertain to these games, they may not. But I mean, you could put two and two together and assume that we may be getting a new game out of any of these series. And speaking about stuff continuing, next up, we're talking about the exact opposite of that. and that is Kingdom Hearts Missing Link, which has just announced that this game has been cancelled. The initial game was announced back in 2022. For those who may not be aware, this game was set to hit mobile, and to me it's kind of surprising given the fact that this game was expected at some point in 2024, and just recently someone had talked about this game having 20 plus worlds to discover. I'm assuming they're pretty far down the path of development on this game, and I just don't know what fell apart. I mean, here's part of their statement. Although we worked hard on developing and adjusting the game in the hope that it would be enjoyed by lots of players, we determined that it would be difficult for us to offer a service that players would find satisfactory over a long period of time, leading us to the decision to cancel development. I'm curious about the wording on that one with service and long period of time. If you've got any insight, let me know in the comments below, or just let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. I think if they were that close to release, they should have just released the game for a certain price. Maybe it's not going to be a live service game, but they could still make some money back after all they spent in development. Who knows? Maybe the assets, maybe the game is just going to get rolled into some future project. I've got no idea. Next up, if you use Steam and you use Proton, you might be interested to know that there's a brand new version of Proton GE. So at the time of filming, GE Proton 10.1 is the latest update. Now this is a fork of Proton, and I do recommend checking it out if there's specific games you need to use it for. It may make certain games actually work that the official version of Proton doesn't. For example, here they've got fixes for Marvel Rivals, Testament of Sherlock Holmes, Borderlands the pre-sequel, and even more, including Oblivion Remastered. For me personally, I find GE Proton works better with certain games and actually just works with certain games, for example, Dragon Ball FighterZ. I think GE Proton is definitely something worth checking out if you do game on Linux, because there's quite a bit here that may work better on your setup. It is worth trying out. It's free and open source. And speaking about gaming on Linux, next up we're talking about Gaming on Linux, who just published a brand new article talking about the upcoming Zotac gaming zone. I guess Zotac has announced a brand new handheld console here, and it will be featuring a Ryzen AI 9 HX370 with a Manjaro Linux-based OS. I'm kind of surprised to see they're not going with something like SteamOS. I'm not going to lie here, I don't hate that they're going with Manjaro. I think it's nice to see more handhelds in the market, more handhelds using Linux, and also more distros throwing their hat in the rings for handheld PC. We'll have to wait and see on this one, but let me know your thoughts. Next up, we're talking about Nothing Phones, and Nothing have announced they're coming out with a brand new flagship phone that's probably going to be a lot more expensive than their existing phones. So they say here, the Phone 3 is coming this summer, and they're going all in with premium materials, major performance upgrades, and software that really levels things up. It's their first true flagship smartphone, and it's going to be priced around £800, which equals about $1,000 US. I've got high hopes for this one, and I'm hoping that this thing competes with other flagship devices out there. We'll have to wait and see on that one. I say that quite a bit. We're going to have to wait and see here either way, but let me know your thoughts about the upcoming Nothing 3. Do you think it'll hang with the best of the best out there? And what do you think the specs are going to be? Next up, we're talking about Clair Obscur Expedition 33, which has been a smash hit since release. It seems the developer is interested in making a Switch 2 version. This is not a confirmation that the game will be made for the Switch 2, but the developer thinks this could be interesting. So that doesn't really say a whole lot here. I don't want to say this is a nothing burger, but I mean, most developers would be interested, I think, in releasing their game on different consoles. However, what I think is more interesting is a brand new video here on YouTube titled Clair Obscur Expedition 33's Wild 6-Year Development Cycle. And taking a look, it is wild between where this game started in 2019 to where it ended up in 2025. That is a huge difference, and that's just one of many. I do recommend checking out that video. I would classify this as kind of like a documentary. The video is 17 minutes long and contains a lot of very interesting information. If you're a fan of the game, this may be worth checking out. Next up here, I got a lot of messages about this one, and it is currently just a rumor, but the latest rumor for Grand Theft Auto is that Grand Theft Auto 4 Remaster could release this year in 2025. And that is something I think a lot of people are excited about. Again, this is worth pointing out. It's currently just a rumor. Sometimes where there's smoke, there's fire, but there's not a whole lot of smoke here yet. This is literally one person saying this. They are considered an industry insider here, and sometimes they're correct, and sometimes they're not. I don't know about this one. Let me know your thoughts about this. I'm hoping that if it is true and if it is being remastered, it's going to turn out better than the trilogy, the definitive edition. Who knows on that one? And last up here, if you're a fan of cool stuff, if you're a fan of Minecraft, or if you're a fan of Bruce Lee, or a fan of all of that stuff, you might be interested in this here. It's called Bruce Lee Dragon Fury, and it's a brand new add-on for Minecraft, and this one was made in partnership with Bruce Lee Enterprises. Now, admittedly, I haven't played Minecraft in a hot minute, but this may bring me back to the game to check out. Maybe not. Anyways, here they say it works on any world. There's recorded audio from Bruce Lee himself, iconic outfits based on his movies, and over 100 martial arts animations. Let me know your thoughts about this one. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. We talked about a bunch today. Feel free to discuss anything we talked about in the comments below. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button. Check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate. Save your state.